iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Stafford Motor Speedway. Here tonight, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing, will take on this half-mile track for 100 laps tonight in the Bar Macqui 100. The Bar Macqui, located up there in Southbridge, Massachusetts, where nights become mornings and friends become family. It's the place to be if you're in Southbridge, Massachusetts. Make sure to stop over and visit our friends at Bar Macqui as we thank them here tonight for taking on the honor of sponsoring tonight's 100-lap feature event. Last time the series, though, was on the racetrack, AJ Hamill back at the LA Coliseum was able to spin, win, and go to victory lane. So AJ joins Rex Hoyle, Eric Stout, Dave Bragg, and Michael Trevarthen on the winners list this season. But I say they, half of them are not here tonight. That's right, those part-time drivers may not be able to pick up a championship, but the driver that is having the top spot right now in the championship, he's here, as he is actually, it's that time. Let's talk about that starting lineup here tonight. Starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Six Rings Racing. He's the points leader. It's car number 12, Eric Stout, will start on the front row. Back in second, then it'll be the number 51, and part of that Canadian Invasion crew. That is Arnold Valls. Back into the third spot then tonight, car number 54. Rex Hoyle will start third. Fourth will be the Beefy Motorsports number 38 of Brandon Feeney. And, how about it's the double V. Car 53, Victor Valls back there in the fifth spot, while Brian Bianchi in the Bar Macqui, number 14, will start sixth. Seventh will be the driver out of Southbridge, Massachusetts, driving car number 21. That'll be Dan Butler. How about the driver, 13MA, the Granny Hips, Walkers and Canes, Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 13MA, Joshua Buckley. Back into the ninth starting spot here tonight. He hails all the way from, Canada. That's right, number 31, Jiffy Lube. Dave Bragg will pilot that car tonight, starting in ninth. The Higgins Hill Racing, Checkered Flag Auto Supply, Busch Latte, number 40 of Rob Higgins will start there into the 10th position here tonight. And back into the 11th spot, rookie, car 62. That'll be TJ Henson. Aiden Alvecchione back with the series here tonight. The driver out of South Carolina, he'll start 12th. 13th on the call then. How about the 02, Kyle Johnson making it last minute here tonight. And the reach for the top, number 70 out of Ohio, Steve McCormick will start 14th. And Bob Higgins in the 20-year anniversary. Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 30, will start 15th here tonight. That's your starting lineup, brought to us by our friends at Six Rings Racing. as we're ready to go. 100 laps here tonight in the bar Macqui 100, and it is green off turn number 4, racing to the bar here tonight. Great start by Stout on the inside row. He'll clear as the race leader down the back straight away. Loud on the pedal here tonight for Eric Stout. He should lead lap number 1, as he will. So a great start by Stout and a great start by a couple of drivers towards the mid-pack. Dan Butler picked up one spot sideways for a couple drivers off too. They were sideways. They were all sorts of, well, crossed up back there. That was Dave Bragg. Brian Bianchi is right there. TJ Henson. Everybody got in line, though. They got single file here on lap number 3 tonight. Everybody chasing Stout. Another car out of line back there. That was a 62. The Solid Rock Carriers number 62, TJ Henson. Henson got a little loose, and he was able to corral it. These are the limited late model stocks here tonight. But these drivers are racing around this speedway here tonight. Brandon Feeney taking a peek to the inside. Car number 54. Got the Bar Macqui logo on the hood of that car. That is Rex Hoyle, the veteran of the series. Rex is chasing Arnold. Arnold with a new paint scheme, I do believe. I don't believe we've seen the number 51 with that scheme. There you go. Holly Scoop Bar on the 51 here tonight. Eric Stout laying down some blistering lap times right now. We'll have to watch and make sure those tires are able to hold up for 100 laps here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. This track usually runs here on iRacing right down around the bottom side. So the way you're going to pass somebody here tonight, most likely going to have to move them up out of the groove. Another one trying to play chicken with the outside wall. TJ Henson here tonight. He's been letting that car hang out. We talk about TJ Henson here. He does come in the point standings as the highest running rookie. 2 rookies running full-time, TJ Henson and Kyle Johnson this season, as the 2 rookies that are battling it out. TJ Henson does obviously hold that top spot. Kyle Johnson is second. If you look at the overall standings, TJ Henson is tied for 4th in the standings, while Kyle Johnson is back in 12th. Both drivers have competed in 5 or more races so far this season. And just as we talk about that outside wall, you saw him brush right up against it. Joshua Buckley got a little piece of that wall. Tennis ball is always going flying. Oh, and TJ Henson sideways. Now Kyle Johnson back there. Johnson had some problems getting it off the hauler here tonight. And that car just looked like it stepped out from underneath him. Buckley looking underneath Henson there, that time off turn number 4. Not quite able to do it. Here comes Rob Higgins. Can Higgins make a charge on Buckley now? The old cowboy back here. Macho Man Rob Higgins. Dropped a spot since the drop of the green flag. Started in the top 10, has fallen back outside the top 10 to the 11th spot. As you see, Buckley really putting the pressure now on TJ Henson. TJ scraped the outside wall again in car number 62. Buckley will go down to the bottom. He'll try to let it eat as Henson into the outside wall again. So give Buckley the 9th spot. Now give Rob Higgins as TJ Henson maybe used the right front tire up early here. He has now fallen back to the 11th spot. So we'll be able to see what Joshua Buckley has underneath his right foot here tonight of the 13 MA. See if he can run down Dave Bragg now. There you see the Jiffy Lube number 31 of Dave Bragg. Bragg, a champion here in the series. The only champion to ever win a championship with Red Light Racing, who has not won a race at the time Picked up the championship last year. No wins. Came in this year. Race number 2. Bam. Right to the top of the boards and picked up a win. There's the bar Macqui, number 14. Brian Bianchi falling back one spot to, well, the other driver out of Massachusetts. There you see him. Dan Butler, the Storm Magnet. Waiting on his winter weather report from the Storm Magnet. I want to know if I need to get the boots out, the coat out, or if I should get my shorts back out. Right ahead of them, is Victor Valls, and Victor absolutely sideways. Victor running a hobby stock up there in Canada. Just kind of honing in his craft here on the iRacing side of things. They're all chasing down the other driver out of Canada, and that's the Feeney call. We talk about Feeney being the jack of all trades. He's ran everything. I think I even heard he was in a bicycle race up in Canada one time. Hey, put some wheels on it and tell him how it drives, and I'm sure he'll figure it out. Bianchi back here. He's been all over the back end of the racing school, number 21 of Dan Butler. You see that Bianchi tries to run a little bit of call it a half a lane lower in turn number 3 and 4. And down here in 1 and 2 also running about a half a lane lower, trying to use the inside apron maybe to turn that car a little bit. Does he have? Nope, not going to quite be able to get to the quarter panel that time into turn number 3, so he'll just duck back in line for the time being. As Brian Bianchi tries to work over Dan Butler, the team car, car 54, has now caught the 51 of Arnold. And let's see if maybe this bar Macqui, number 54, is able to get around. You see car 54 working down the back straightaway. Rex Oil, always one of those drivers that are able to save the tires, the best out of the crew. Couple weeks ago, we saw that Rex Hoyle was starting to pull in the race leader of Eric Stout at the time. Problems. One driver off the outside wall hard. And run it wide down to turns 1 and 2. That is TJ Henson, who's now all the way back into the 13th spot. Steve McCormick must be popping the top again, as he was completely sideways off too. How about Aiden Alvecchio back with the series? Figured out the old computer, and here he is tonight. Watching a lot of these drivers, you saw Aiden off turn 2 get sideways. Everybody here tonight pretty much pedaling these cars. And Lester McCormick, I think he thinks he's at a drift track. So McCormick back here. Eric Stout is still out front in the Six Rings Racing. Flow Racing number 12 entry here. Nobody's had anything for him so far tonight. 25 laps in the books, 25 laps out front if your name is Eric Stout. He says to us race fans that he is going to run full time this season. And when you look at the standings and the stats so far here this season, 6 races in, Eric Stout has competed in all 6. He's picked up 2 wins, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. He does lead the point standings by 1 point over Brian Bianchi. So that's the points battle right there. 1 point separating first and second in that point standings coming into the night. Dave Bragg, the Canadian, he was just 4 points back under Eric Stout also. So a 4-point deficit through the top 3, and Brandon Feeney's tied with TJ Henson for 4th in the overall standings. They both sit 21 points out coming into the night. Those points obviously have shaken up here just a little bit. Eric Stout here in car number 12 leading tonight, while Brian Bianchi back into the 6th spot. So that'll give Eric Stout a 8-point deficit right now in the championship standings. A lot of racing left to go here. The bar Macqui 100 from the Stafford Motor Speedway, though, as we are green flag racing here tonight at Stafford so far. Everybody still working into that long run groove. Rex Hoyle and Brandon Feeney, though, have looked to be a little bit faster than the 51 of Arnold, who sits there in the second spot currently. Just can't find a way around them. That's short track racing, if you will, because it's one thing to always get to a driver, and it's a whole other thing to be able to get around them. Riding on board here with Brandon Feeney in the Feeney call, number 38, the driver out of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Trying to go after the North Carolina driver of Rex Hoyle. 3 Canadians, a Virginian, and a North Carolina driver currently sitting inside the top 5. Brandon Feeney babying it through the middle of the corner there. Didn't quite get back full throttle right away. Joshua Buckley and Dan Butler, we talked about them over the years. These two drivers have competed on just about everything here on iRacing. Together, they met in short tracks just like this about 5 years ago. And then Josh being able to meet up with Dan Butler at the racing school. Believe that or not, the racing school, one of our sponsors here with the series on a weekly basis. Our post-race show, of course, brought to us by our friends over at the racing school. All post-race interviews done by the racing school. 3 drivers right here, all out of the same state. And oh boy, Joshua Buckley going to cut down, try to get a run. Thought he could diamond off that corner and get a good run down the straightaway. Wasn't quite able to. 3 drivers, 3 different lines. Joshua Buckley running about, well, I thought it was the low line, but Rob Higgins finds an even lower line down there. Now they all switch it up this time. Buckley going to try the outside lane down here in 3 and 4. We haven't seen any passes being able to make out there. And oh, Butler comes off the bottom just a little bit. Now Higgins going to slide into that spot as Joshua Buckley got up out of the groove just a little bit. Buckley now back down to the bottom side, see if he can get the spot back and more. This is all happening for the 8th, 9th, and 10th position here on the Speedway tonight. Looking back off the number 21 of Dan Butler, watching Joshua Buckley try to get there. He's going to give him a little bump and run. Buckley got a little loose. Will he have the inside advantage here? Oh, Butler going to take the nose off of the number 13 MA. Hard racing back here for this 8th, 9th, and 10th position. Something happening. I do believe Kyle Johnson had some problems. He has fallen back now all the way to the 15th position. Johnson, you can tell, has been into the outside wall very hard with that right front. As there is Bob Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 30. Bob Higgins and his family owning the Checkered Flag Auto Supply located in Ayer, Massachusetts. Oh, hard contact. Kyle Johnson once again ping-ponging himself off the outside wall. But Higgins, that's Bob Higgins, his family has owned the Checkered Flag Auto Supply for 20 years, so they're celebrating 20 years of operation in the Ayer, Massachusetts area. You have car parts that you need replaced on your car. The Higgins family has it over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Make sure to stop in with them over in Ayer, Massachusetts. Joshua Buckley is able to get to the inside now on the number 21, and he'll slide up in front of Dan Butler. And oh boy, he left the door open. Here comes the Cowboy. Rob Higgins, oh, he thought he was going to be able to get down there. Josh Buckley sails it off on the bottom side. So some movement back here between these drivers. Josh Buckley trying to run away. Because when you think about it, your race leader is about a straightaway behind these drivers that are battling right here. We're able to turn a lap in about 20 seconds all the way around this speedway, and these drivers are sitting about 10 seconds behind the race leader. Kyle Johnson, though, he's got a mirror full right now because look back there. That's the race leader. There's Kyle Johnson. He'll go to the outside in 3 and 4. Eric Stout will go to the bottom, and he will put the 0-2 a lap down here before the halfway portion of tonight's race. So Kyle Johnson is the first driver to go a lap down here tonight. Now he's going to have to battle with some of the drivers that are coming up behind him. There's Arnold Valls, Rex Hoyle, and Brandon Feeney. They're lined up like a choo-choo train to try and go around the bottom side. Looks like Rex Hoyle has started to back off a little bit, maybe trying to save those tires till a little bit later in the evening here. We are closing in on the halfway point here tonight in the Macqui 100. We got to thank Macqui for coming on board here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Macqui located in Southbridge, Massachusetts. Remember, that's where the nights become mornings and your friends become family. Sounds like the place that I want to go. Made a trip to the Stafford Motor Speedway a couple years ago with a couple of the drivers here in the series. Maybe this year when I am able to head up there again, maybe I'll have to stop over at Macqui. I looked at the pictures. It looks like a fine place to be. It definitely looks like where I can make some friends. As you see, Brandon Feeney trying not to be so friendly with the car 54 here, trying to get around, taking the Feeney call number 38. Trying to get right to the back bumper. I remember when Brandon Feeney came into the series, very green. Met Brandon Feeney through the Ontario Legends series. I had the pleasure of calling some of their races a couple years ago. That's how I met Brandon Feeney, and Feeney came on over here to Red Light Racing to get more short track experiences. There you go. He pressured the veteran into making one of those rare mistakes. Brandon Feeney will now pass car 54. He'll take over third. Rex Hoyle, the veteran, knew it's better than to battle. He just got right back in line. So your top three now sit as Eric Stout, Arnold Valls, and Brandon Feeney. Two Canadians on the podium right now. Rex Hoyle's fallen back to fourth. Brian Bianchi has picked up the fifth spot. We missed that as he passed Victor Valls. Then it's Dave Bragg. And we've been watching this battle back here. Rob Higgins got around Joshua Buckley as we were watching the race leader there. Dan Butler has started to fall back off this pack. That used to be a three-car battle. Now it's still a two-car battle. Dan Butler still sitting in the 10th position. He's got TJ Henson closing in on him, though. Talked about how Henson's been into the outside wall. He's been sideways. He's lost some positions, and we wondered if he killed the right front tire on that number. Oh, boy, Dan Butler right into the wall, right in front of TJ Henson. You can tell the right front has damage now in car number 21 of Dan Butler. TJ Henson will power move down the back straightaway to the inside of that number 21. Butler has a lot of wheel, a lot of camber built up now in car 21. He'll hit the wall again off turn 4. So Butler out of Southbridge, Massachusetts. An instructor over at the racing school. Having some problems here tonight. No problem for Eric Stout. There he is. He just put Aiden Alvecchione and Bob Higgins a lap down. So now there's 12 drivers just after the halfway point. Working lap 57 here, the 100 scheduled in the Macqui 100. Everything's been led by car number 12. As you see drivers, that's McCormick and Butler bouncing it off the wall there off 4. Just out in front of the race leader. What does the reach for the top number 70 have here? Is he going to be able to... the race leader is going to get straight to the inside on the 70 machine, and he'll go a lap down. Somebody up against the outside wall there. That's Kyle Johnson. They're going 3 wide off turn number 4. Tricky, tricky. Dan Butler and McCormick now going to battle there as they both went a lap down. Kyle Johnson has gone 2 laps down here tonight. Uh-oh, Dan Butler up out of the groove in the marbles. You see those black little rubber chunks up there. That's the marbles. Why do we call them the marbles? Well, they're little rubber chunks that get ground up from the asphalt here. They get thrown up to the top side of the speedway, and if you go up there and drive on them, it's like driving on marbles. It's slippy, it's slidey. That's not the fast way around the track. Look at Brandon Feeney. He's trying to work over that 51. Kyle Johnson has brought the 02 to pit road. Maybe some fresh tires needed on that 02. You see him down there. They're putting left side tires on now. These two play hot potato all night long, and they got 40 laps to figure it out yet. Higgins and Buckley. Who's going to be stacking the battery pallet this week at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply? Dan Butler down to the inside here. It looks like he's going to come to pit road. Remember, lots of damage on the right front of that number 21 for Dan Butler. So Butler and Johnson down on pit road. As your race leader is closing in on the 10th position runner right now. That is TJ Henson. Looks like Henson will just go to the outside. He will allow the 12 to get on through. Brian Bianchi coming on strong here. He got around Rex Hoyle a couple laps ago, and now he just got around Brandon Feeney, and Feeney trying to battle back, but he doesn't have enough in the tank. Brian Bianchi cutting through the field like he's cutting up a rug over at the bar. As now he's to the inside here of Arnold Valls, and it looks like he's going to be able to get position on him. He's got a 4-second deficit, though. Brian Bianchi now in the bar. Macqui, number 14, into P number 2. Still got time, and now Brandon Feeney trying to get to the inside. Just behind him, contact. Feeney sideways. There was contact in the center of the corner. That 38 got sideways. The Feeney call trying to get underneath his Canadian foe. As Brian Bianchi, once he got around Feeney and Valls, he's just kind of set sail. Already set about 5 car lengths of a deficit and climbing. Let me take a look here. Last time by, yeah, he is the second fastest car on the speedway. Eric Stout was the fastest by 1/100th of a second. I'll take a look again at the line. See who's faster now. Last time by identical times for the 12 and the 14. So you see the 14 will make the pass underneath. That's TJ Henson. That's not a battle for position. Remember, Henson running into the 10th position here tonight. That's who they're still chasing. Ada Nalvecchio now will come to pit road in the 271. It'll be 30 laps remaining here tonight at the Bar Macqui 100 from the Stafford Motor Speedway. Checking back here. And oh boy, hang on to her, Cowboy. Higgins trying to take a wild ride back there. You see the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, Busch Latte. Number 40. Looks like Higgins been able to stay out of the outside wall, but I believe the right front tire has gone away officially here tonight on that car. Feeney got around Arnold, and Arnold's still hanging right there on the back end of the Feeney call entry. Feeney coming on real strong here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. That 38 looking very, very sporty. But so is Arnold. Sideways for that entry there, the 51. More drivers coming to pit road. Here comes now TJ Henson. He'll come to pit road. Remember Kyle Johnson, Dan Butler, Aiden Alvecchione. They've all come to pit road. Now here comes TJ Henson. Pit stops are not mandatory here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It would be up to the driver and the crew if they were to want to come to pit road to put tires on. As we've been all green flag racing here tonight. And the race leader, I can tell you right now, of Eric Stout with a 4.5 second race lead, would not like to see a caution flag, that is for sure. Because it's only 24 laps to go here tonight in the Macqui 100. Let's see TJ Henson back out onto the raceway. Everybody has strung themselves out now. Even Brandon Feeney starting to pull away from Arnold now. Been a quiet night here for Dave Bragg. These drivers all squished in together here, but everybody on a different lap sequence. You got the 31 of Bragg, who is running 8th on the lead lap. Then you got Dan Butler, who's being scored 3 laps down with fresh tires. You got TJ Henson being scored 2 laps down, fresh tires. So you got everybody on a little bit of a different strategy, different tire game, and oh boy. Everybody trying to make some moves on those fresh tires. Your race leader is right here too, going, boys, can we settle down? Settle down, just try to come through here. Excuse me. Oh, Stout down to the bottom, and he'll make a little contact there. Stout made contact with the, I believe, was that the 40 of Rob Higgins? Higgins trying to stay on the lead lap. Stout, who had at that point a 4.5 second race lead. Now, Brian Bianchi, with that mistake, has cut it down to just a 2.7 second lead. So Bianchi with under 20 laps to go, and the race leader in heavy lap traffic. Trying to close in if he can. Stout to the back end of the 40 of Higgins. He'll turn underneath off turn 4. Hard contact for the 31 of Dave Bragg into the wall. Eric Stout now clear of that lap traffic, and Brian Bianchi work his way through the lap traffic. Right on board the Macqui, number 14 here. 3 cars separate first and second as they're running. Bianchi drives it in deep to get around the number 30 of Bob Higgins back there. Drivers are coming to pit road left and right. Dave Bragg has brought the 31 Jiffy Lube entry to pit road. Now here comes Rex Hoyle. He'll bring the Macqui car 54 to pit road. McCormick wanted nothing to do with the race leader. He absolutely pulled over, dropped the anchor, and Eric Stout went on through. 15 laps remaining. Half a straightaway is the deficit right now between Eric Stout. There's Brian Bianchi. Bianchi trying to close that deficit. It was over 4.5 seconds. Now it's down under 3. Last time by, it was identical times again between the 12 and the 14. So both cars very strong here tonight. And the closing laps. Arnold has caught back up to the 38 of Brandon Feeney. You got 3 Canadians running here, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You got Aiden Alvecchione there in the 271. He's got fresher tires. He's trying to work his way through, but also trying to be mindful of the cars that are all battling. Here comes Arnold. He'll have the inside advantage. Aiden to the outside. There'll be 3 wide off turn 4. 3 wide. Arnold backed out of it. He said, oh, no, that's not a good idea to me. So Aiden has those fresh tires. It looks like he'll be able to get on through. Feeney trying to hold the bottom side, and now it looks like Feeney's going to make a pit stop here. Feeney's going to pull the string. He'll come to pit road. So Feeney going to give up third. Stout will see the double high fives this time. It's just double fives. 10 to go. It's 5 miles of racing if anybody's at home keeping track. Deficit 3 seconds. 9 to go. A lot of drivers have made a pit stop here tonight. Couple drivers have not. You're looking at the Macqui number 14. Brian Bianchi trying to get around some lap traffic. That's the number 13 of Joshua Buckley. Buckley a lap down, running in the 5th position here tonight. That just shows you how fast Eric Stout and Brian Bianchi have been so far here tonight. Bianchi has no pressure back there. Arnold Valls have come to pit road. He'll make a stop with 7 to go. So maybe some of these drivers running very low on fuel. Eric Stout has now come up on the 53 of Victor Valls, and that is the driver that is running in 3rd currently, as Eric will come to get 6 laps to go. So there's a lot of strategy out there. Look at the left-hand side of your screen, race fans. Everybody is on a different strategy. Will our race leader have to pit here tonight? 5 laps. Arnold coming back off pit road after his service. And oh no, a penalty for car 51. He'll have to return to pit road. As you see, he's coming this time by. Unfortunate for the 51 of Arnold Valls. 4 to go for the part-time racer out of Virginia. Stout has made 53 starts with the series. And with 3 laps to go, he's looking to pick up his 3rd win ever. 3rd place car, Victor Valls, car 53, coming to pit road. There you see the Jiffy Lube entry. He'll come to pit road with just 3 to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air this time for Eric Stout. It'll be just 2 more times around the speedway. And drivers have had to pit, but he has not. He has stayed out. This time by the white flag will come out. The white flag presented by Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. It's the final trip around here tonight in the Macqui 100. And Eric Stout is trying to go to victory lane for the 3rd time in his career. He will come off 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in Barney's hand, waving. It will be Eric Stout picking up the win here tonight in the Macqui 100. 2nd place will go to car 14, the Macqui number 14 of Brian Bianchi. Joshua Buckley will come off turn 4, chug-a-luggin. He will pick up a 3rd place finish here tonight. Dave Bragg will finish in 4th. Brandon Feeney in 5th. Rob Higgins in 6th. Rex Hoyle in 7th. 8th will go to TJ Henson. Victor Valls in 9th. And Aiden Alvecchione will finish there into the 10th position. There's your winner, Eric Stout, leading all 100 laps here tonight in our Macqui 100. Coming up in just a couple of moments, it'll be our post-race show brought to us by our friends at the Racing School. Make sure to book your Racing School adventure next year. We'll be back here at the Stafford Motor Speedway with our post-race show after this.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Stafford Motor Speedway. After 100 laps here for the Macqui 100, we have officially figured out our top 3 finishers here tonight as we get ready for the Racing School post-race show. What do you say we just jump right in and talk to these drivers, because there's 3 drivers that are excited after this one. Let's head down trackside right away and talk to the driver of the number 13, Josh Buckley. Josh, it's been a while since we've got to talk to you after one of these races here on Thursday night. And, well, tell us what behind the wheel felt like of that number 13.
It felt good, but just learning practice, you got to try to take care of that right front. As you saw, a lot of people pitting late, just burning stuff up. I had a feeling that might be the case. I was trying to save my stuff. But I mean, especially when you get a long green flag run here, you just don't know what's going to happen. So it's the gamble I made, and it worked out.
It works out for you here tonight. Were you hoping to see a caution flag at some point here? Because you had battled real hard back there. I believe that was you, Higgins, and Butler for, I'm going to say, a good 15 laps. You guys were pretty much duking it out.
Yeah, it's not what I wanted, especially, with the strategy of trying to save your right front. But it was one of those that looked like Dan just kind of burnt his stuff up, and it was stacking Rob and I up because Rob was, on my track. So just didn't want to do it, but the move had to be made, and now I'm glad I did.
So tonight, where you finish here tonight, 3rd on the podium, and a couple of your competitors either not here in competition tonight or they finished a little bit farther down, this is going to propel you up into the point standings, looking like you're probably going to be sitting right around the 5th position after tonight, and we still got a lot of racing left this season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. You got to take it one race at a time. Still plenty of races to go. So this is definitely a good point in the right direction, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, what do you say then? We go from here down to Florida. We take the fenders back off next week. USA.
Again, it's just going to be back to testing, working with the teammates, and seeing what we can have for a package there. So.
Well, we can't wait to see what kind of package you unload down there. So what do you say we let you go try to unload a couple of those bullets now? And who do you got to thank? Who's on the quarter panels of this 13MA?
You, obviously, for the broadcast. Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Macqui for sponsoring the race. Everybody who comes out. My teammates, Rev Esports. And yeah, that's it.
Well, there you hear it. Josh Buckley, he may be wearing the pink sunglasses when he jumps out of that virtual car. Tonight, though, he will finish P number 3. Picks up 5 spots. He's also the biggest mover and shaker here tonight on the dance floor. Sitting in the, looks like the second position, though. He just came from Macqui, ladies and gentlemen. How about the driver of the number 14? Brian, a very fast machine here, especially in the last 40 laps. You were one of the fastest car, sometimes the fastest car out there on the raceway. What did you need here late?
I really needed a better starting spot. I got hung there on the outside and then had to work my way all the way back up. Kind of killed my stuff a little bit. But still fast. I had a little bit left. If I could have got to his bumper, maybe we could have got something.
At one point, you were sitting. It was 4.5 seconds back, and then Stout got kind of mixed up and crossed up in traffic there. Did you see him out in front of you start to get bigger?
I did. I said, I think I got a chance here if they hold him up just a little bit more. But then I had to get through the same thing. It was really hard to pass there at the end, even lap cars that were giving you room. It was really hard to pass.
Here at this track, is it just down around the bottom that much that it's just so hard?
Yeah, and even in the later runs, I was even going lower. I was going on the apron. It seemed to help the car turn a little bit.
Well, it was able to turn because you were able to put down some of the fast times here, and you come home second here tonight. What does it mean? Because you have the Macqui big stamp logo right there on the hood here tonight, and to finish on the podium.
Yeah, I'm happy for Matt and Jackie over at Macqui that I was able to do this. Rex put together a couple nice paints for them. We really appreciate all their help over there.
Well, good showing for you here tonight, Brian, as this one's going to keep you right there in the standings. Before we let you go, though, who's on the side of this big old red balloon you got?
As always, Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe, Colony Tire, Macqui, like we said, Bianchi Cash Register, Christina Custom Cuts, Zeno's Luxury Jackets, Patty's Pugs, Danny's Diamond Deals, GK Properties. Oh, man, I think that's all of them.
Race fans, I think he has this written down by now, but you never know. Brian Bianchi there, race fans. He will finish P number 2 here tonight after picking up 4 spots. 1 spot short, though, because he followed up behind this car. Car number 12 here tonight. Eric, quick time in practice, quick time in qualifying, and 100 laps led out front. It's a quick car.
That was the plan, Roger. Put a lot of work in during the week. Actually started over the weekend. I think I ran close to 500 laps in practice. I knew that tire saving was going to be really important. I also wanted to try to start at least in the top 3, give myself a chance. So I spent quite a bit of time working on my qualifying times as well, and it paid off.
How much does it matter to qualify towards the front of the fields, especially on a track like this where it's very hard to pass?
Well, I learned my lesson last week at LA Coliseum in the SK mod, where I think I qualified like 7th or 9th or something atrocious like that, and I just ended up getting junked. So I was happy to have a bounce back after 2 sort of disastrous weeks after the self-spin at Nashville. But I remembered from the last race we did here, last season, that especially early on the starts and any restart, we're all going to be grouped together, really difficult to pass, really difficult to hold your line or hold any momentum on the outside. So I knew track position was going to be super important. That has tended to be the theme with these races is track position.
So you came in as the points championship leader just by 1 point over Brian Bianchi. You pick up a win. He finishes second, so that points lead does extend a little bit. You were already, I believe we're closing in. We are halfway next week here in the series, and that's only a little points lead. How hard is it going to be to stretch this out over the stretch run?
I think it's going to be super hard. Brian put together a really solid run tonight, having to come through the pack from, I think, 7th was where he started. And I know that he's, going to run clean and going to run tough all season. And if he can keep it, pointed straight, like I haven't had luck to do a couple times this season, then, he could flip that script. So we're going to keep our head down and just keep trying to keep it out front. I don't know if I'm gonna win every week necessarily, although that's the goal. But just try to keep it up front, keep it competitive, and if I can stay around the 14, then I'm doing something right.
Well, you're doing it right this season because this is the 7th race of the season. You pick up your 3rd win, which is your 3rd career win with the series. So what do you say we just roll this old red carpet out and pass you the microphone and see what you got to say?
You bet. So as always, shout out to Movember Foundation. It is actually November, so I have my mustache going, raising money once again. This is my 13th year raising money for the Movember Foundation, supporting men's health causes. Big shout out Justin Laxton and Team 53 for the coaching and the help getting prepared. I want to give AJ a shout out, even though he's actually been part-time this season. Funny enough, we still talk quite a bit, and he's been pretty helpful, week to week. Shout out to my wife, my dad, my aunt Jean. Actually, my mom started watching recently, Roger, so that's very exciting. I also want to give a nice hat tip to Josh, fellow admin, for a podium run this week. Another special shout out to my brother Patrick, who was on the pit box for me tonight. He got out of the Air Force a couple months ago and recently got on the iRacing service. So hopefully next season or sometime shortly thereafter, we'll see him on the racetrack with me. But for now, he's helping out on the pit box. And of course, Turn 3 Racing Network and Checkered Flag Auto Supply for making this all happen.
Well, there you hear it tonight. Eric Stout picks up the big win here. The Macqui 100 check will go to the driver of car number 12 here tonight. He picks up his 3rd career win with the series, 3rd win of the season. So this season, they've really flipped the script on that number 12. So you heard from Eric Stout, you heard from Brian Bianchi, Joshua Buckley. What does the rest of the field look like? Well, Dave Bragg rallied for a 4th place finish here tonight. Brandon Feeney fell back to 5th late in this one. Rob Higgins was 6th, along with Rex Hoyle in 7th. TJ Henson rallied way back from back to the 14th spot all the way to back to 8th at the end of this one. Victor Valls will fall to 9th. Aiden Alvecchione with another top 10 finish here with the series. Dan Butler is 11th. Arnold Valls across the line in 12th. Bob Higgins in 13th. Steve McCormick in 14th. And Kyle Johnson here tonight will round out our 15-car field here from the Stafford Motor Speedway. So the Macqui 100 is in the books. Where do we head next? Well, sunny Florida is where we're going. Next week, we will take the fenders off, and we will see what they have in store next week for 100 laps in the Movember 100. Can't wait to go down to the USA International Speedway. It may no longer be a track that is standing in the real world, but because of iRacing, we can always race on the tracks that may have left us. So that's going to be about it here from the Stafford Motor Speedway. We got to thank all the fine folks over at Macqui, along with our friends at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply and Red Light Racing. I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's virtual show from the Stafford Motor Speedway. And until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.